Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. The police are bracing themselves for trouble today. It's been revealed that up to 38 locations across the length and breadth of the country are likely to see mass immigration protests. And sadly, a lot of these things are likely to turn into riots. People have had enough, and they dislike, indeed hate, the policies of this Labour government. They dislike and hate Keir Starmer in particular. They blame him now for these problems. He's only been in the job a month, and he's now one of the most hated and reviled politicians of all time. I think what kicked it off was his near robot likeness at Southport, where he just marched up, placed a wreath, and sodded off. Didn't address the crowd, didn't acknowledge the crowd, didn't even look at them. The police don't have the numbers. Despite what Keir Starmer stands there and says, we're going to deal with this, we're going to deal with this properly, we're going to increase this, we're going to do this. You're not going to do anything, Keir. You don't have the resources to do anything. And if all of these things kick off, if all of these things do go from protest to riot, there is nothing you can do. You literally don't have the numbers. And we saw at riots that happened earlier in the week where the police just stood back. They were hanging back. They got the guards up, the shields up, and they didn't have the numbers to go into the crowd. The crowd won. They were breaking in and that. But what is telling, first of all, looking back, was where all the riots occurred. Because with the exception of Belfast, and there is a reason for that one, every single riot was in a Labour constituency. Every single one. Now, there must be people within the Labour Party that are deeply, deeply worried by this fact, because Keir Starmer's coming out and calling these people thugs, right-wing, far-right, yobs, problems, troublemakers. These are the people that voted for Labour MPs. And Keir Starmer is coming out and alienating the people who voted for him. The only reason there wasn't a Labour constituency in Ireland is Labour don't stand in Ireland. And so Belfast didn't have a Labour MP. Every other single one. Aldershot, Canterbury, Chatham, Chelmsford, Bedford, Blackburn, Blackpool, Bolton, Brentwood, all of them, Labour governments, Labour MPs. Every single one. Now, I don't think Labour voters are particularly far right. I think they're very, very angry. And I think if Keir Starmer keeps attacking the people who vote for him, then his own MPs are going to get very, very worried very, very quickly. Now, I've mentioned before that there are already rumours that Starmer is not seen now as a long-term leader of the party. And I think this is advancing him towards the exit door very, very quickly. And if he goes, who's going to replace him? David Lammy, for God's sake? God, no. There's no one waiting in the wings. There's no one of any talent. You can't possibly have Angela Rayner. She would make it worse. And so this problem is there. You've got this Labour Party led by a man who loathes the working class, who loathes the very people who vote for the party, and who is now publicly attacking them. Now, these 38 locations tomorrow will see, or not tomorrow, today, sorry. These 38 locations today will likely go from protest to trouble. I foresee this. They might not all go that way. Let's hope they don't. But it wouldn't surprise me if they do. And Starmer will come out again and condemn it. But when your only response, like Starmer did, your only response is say, we're going to punish people who do this, rather than we're going to get to the bottom of why people are angry and sort the problem, then the problem is going to continue. And it's going to keep getting bigger and badder and worse. And the outcome from the Labour Party is that in 2029, All those people who voted Labour, who got Labour in, ain't going to vote Labour. Now, remember, Labour effectively got in on just under, I believe, 18 or 19% of the electorate. They ain't going to get those numbers next time. And they are going to be wiped out. Because when it's such a small number, and don't forget you've got Reform growing, and indeed in the North, particularly, Reform was the second party in an awful lot of places. Well, especially up there in your Wiggins and Oldhams and Liverpools and so forth. And all these people angry about immigration, angry that Keir Starmer is calling them the far-right yobs, they're going to vote Reform. 2029, Reform could be the official opposition. Possibly the government. Things would change then. But Labour could face an absolute wipeout. And MPs, Labour MPs, they know this. They see the numbers. They're doing the maths. They're looking here and seeing a one-term government. What are they going to do? Well, they've got to get rid of Starmer. They know this. And as I say, the rumours are already there. The rumours are the whispering campaign has already started. It's going to be fun over the next few weeks. I honestly think Starmer has got a week, maybe 10 days. I could be wrong. I don't foresee Starmer being there by the end of September, put it that way. And we're here now in the first week of August. I don't foresee Starmer being the leader at the end of September. And I think things will have to change. And I don't think he's going to get these sentencing guidelines through. I think even people within his own party now may object to them because they don't want to vilify all the people that they need to vote for them in 2029. And don't forget, you're going to have councils. They're the next elections. That's going to be a wipeout for Labour now. And I wonder how well Reform will do at the next council elections. That will be your key marker. Labour, a month in, have destroyed their own future because they've got an android for a leader who does not understand or even like the people of this country. Cracking, isn't it? Thanks very much for listening. Do take care, and I will speak to you later. Bye.